What's up, guys? John Collins with Risen Holster Co. LLC. Today I want to start a new mini-series for you guys. It's going to take a deeper dive into all of the available holster models we have on our website. This is something we've been wanting to do for a while, and is going to be a way for us to get better information out to you guys as to all of the features to our holsters and help you make a better and more informed decision before you purchase. So to start off, we're going to start with probably our most popular holster. Definitely is our most popular holster. It has been for a number of years, probably since we've started the company. That is our Ninja Lightbearing Appendix IWB. Just a real quick, just on what an Appendix IWB holster is. It's meant to be worn at the appendix location inside of the waistband. Pretty simple. The light bearing in the name is just referring to the fact that these ones are meant to be run with lights. We also have a non-light bearing version of the holster as well. There's a few differences between the two, so we're going to do a separate video for that one. This one will just specifically be on the light bearing version. So light bearing Kydex holsters, they get their retention off of the light itself. That will be the difference between a light bearing and a non-light bearing, is non-light bearing holsters are going to get their retention off of the trigger guard of the firearm. But with a light, you have to, of course, have a channel so that the light can pass through the holster, and then the holster itself grabs onto that light. That's how it gets its retention. So without further ado, we'll get into this. I have two models here. This is light bearing Ninja from our custom side, and then here I have a light bearing Ninja from our quick ship side. Pretty much identical holsters. They have the same hole patterns on the front. The main difference you're going to see between the two is the concealment wings that are available on both. So on our quick ship side, just for being able to expedite the process, get them out to you all quicker, we opted to go with the mod wing. These are very, very popular. You'll see these on a lot of different holsters out there. But function-wise, the same thing as the concealment wing that you see on our custom side. On the custom side, we have a Kydex wing. So these are, we craft them ourselves in-house. They're made out of thicker 0.125-inch Kydex. And gives it a lot of durability, a lot of strength. You shouldn't have any issues with these cracking or breaking or anything like that. We are limited on color availability just because they don't make that many different styles of Kydex, different colors of Kydex in that thickness. But we opt obviously for the durability feature over just the looks of it. Specific to the Ninja IWB holsters, Appendix IWB holsters, we have the extra mounting holes. These are different than what you're going to see from the other holsters we have on our site, like the Agent or the non-light bearing Appendix. These ones have a lot of modularity built in with all of the extra hole patterns. So if you buy one straight out, bone stock, no extras, it's going to look just like this as far as having the Discrete Carry Concepts monoblock. These are awesome clips. We did a lot of research, tried a bunch of different ones early on, and very, very quickly made up our mind that this was going to be the clip that we offered standard. A lot of companies even offer these as upgrades, but we like them so much, we just said from the get-go, this is going to be our standard belt clip option, and then we can upgrade from there. So the top of the holster here, you have your two holes, obviously, that the monoblock mounts to. There is a third hole option as well that'll allow you to take this screw loose and cant the belt clip. And so if you're searching for a more comfortable position of the holster here, or mainly what it's meant for is if you were to decide to carry it on your hip, even though it is an appendix holster, you can still carry this on your hip by canting that belt clip. The bottom sections here, 3 holes on either side. That is the industry standard spacing if you were to switch up to something like a tuckable clip. So these are the Discrete Carry Concepts HLR Mod 4s. They're our personal favorite when it comes to the tuckable belt clip options. Tuckable, as it is in its name, really is meant to just have the space so that you can tuck your shirt in behind the clip and be able to just have more discreet carry. But the biggest function that we use these for personally, the thing that I like them the most for, is the right height adjustment that they allow. So you can take these screws out, and using these 3 holes and then using the slots you find in the belt clips, you can adjust the clips up and down and adjust how the holster sits in your pants. And that is going to give a very big difference into the comfort of the holster. Me personally, I have a little bit of a stomach. Got 3 kids and a wife that cooks really well. So my stomach fluctuates throughout the year. These are awesome to be able to sink the holster down a little deeper into your pant line and give a little extra breathing room. The Kydex concealment claw, again, same difference between the two as far as like what they do, but what they do is they sit behind your pant line. Your belt sits on top of this, and it pushes the grip of your firearm closer into your abdomen. These are crucial if you're going to appendix carry. Without one of these on your holster, you're going to have a hard time with the top of the pistol wanting to stick out, and printing is a huge issue. Appendix in general, some of the biggest benefits that people will have when carrying an appendix holster is the ease of accessibility to the holster, and then the concealability. Those are the two big things I see people gravitating towards appendix for, is when you're having the holster sit up here right in the front, or this side if you're one of those left-handed people. It's a very, very intuitive, quick draw stroke to yank your clothes out of the way, get to that pistol, and present it quickly. Versus if you carry strong side on your hip, it can be more difficult to clear your garments from there and to be able to get down to the gun and yank it out. It's kind of just a harder position to get the height sometimes here if you're carrying a bigger gun, versus if you're here in front, you have all the room in the world. The accessibility then too is going to increase your draw times, which is huge. If you're trying to really get a quick presentation and a quick shot off, you're going to, most of the time, most people are going to be able to get it quicker from the appendix position. Another big feature that's awesome with appendix carry is the concealability of it. Just the human body shape, we typically have an easier time concealing holsters and things just up front on our belt lines here. A lot of times, whether you got a stomach or bigger chest or whatever, your shirt's just going to drape a little bit more around your belt line here, and that's going to just leave a lot of extra space for the gun to be able to hide behind it. So those are the two biggest features you'll see from appendix style holsters that just kind of seem to be what sets it ahead from other holster styles. One drawback, which I wouldn't personally say is a drawback, but it's something that does need to be mentioned. A lot of people do not like to carry in the appendix position just because of where it's going to put the gun in relation to your body. They don't like having their firearm pointing to sensitive areas, which I can completely understand. I would argue, though, that it's not so much a safety thing as it more is a level of comfort and confidence that you have with your setup, which I think is something that can be overcome, or just, over time, you can kind of get more used to as you shoot your gun more, as you kind of get more trust into the fact your gun's going to perform how it's supposed to, and that your holster is also going to work the way it's supposed to. It's nothing worse than carrying a gun where you're not 100% sure it's going to cycle, or it's not going to eject shells properly. I would even argue to say that if that's a question about your firearm, then I wouldn't carry it at all. Find yourself something reliable. Anything bone stock off of a shelf these days, for the most part, from your big name companies, are going to be certainly reliable enough to be able to conceal carry. But make sure you're doing your dry fire and live fire training courses. There's a plethora of YouTube videos with instructors that really know what they're talking about, that can help you with building a lot of good mechanics and stuff that way. Just build that confidence and that repeatability, and I think a lot of that will help people to just gravitate more towards appendix carry. So one feature too that's really cool about our Ninja light-bearing appendix holsters is that they can be transformed more or less into our agent holsters. So I got a lot of customers that come to us and they are new to conceal carry, and they aren't sure. They like the idea of appendix, they've read up on it, they see the benefits of it, they're just not comfortable with the idea of it yet, or they maybe think that it's going to be uncomfortable for them to carry there. And so they are looking at the idea of maybe doing the agent, but they're not sure, they're in between. So one of the really cool features about the agent, or the Ninja, is that a lot of this stuff can be taken off and it can be reconfigured to work as the agent holster does as well. So obviously these belt clips will come off. You can go with something more like the monoblock that we have on our quick ship holster here. And if you were to cant that and then remove the Kydex wing off of the side of this, then effectively you have a agent holster, or a strong side carry holster. These two bottom screws here are your main two retention screws. These top two do have a small effect on retention, but they're mainly there to hold this wing in place. And so if you were to remove this wing off and get rid of these two screws, you still will have complete retention of the firearm in the holster, just with having these two screws still installed. So, but again, removing these, you cant your monoblock clip if you ordered it that way. and then take this Kydex claw off, and then effectively you have a strong side carry holster. So it gives customers who are unsure or are in between one holster that'll do both, and then they can try both out, decide which one they like, and no matter which one they decide they like, they have a holster that will work great for whatever that scenario is. Or, you know, if it's something that they just decide they're going to work towards appendix and try it out every once in a while and maybe build proficiency before they actually carry that way, then the holster can be adapted to that and allow them to, you know, work on that before they're comfortable enough to actually go out and do it for real. Something else to talk about in reference to the hole patterns that are on the front of the holster here. So obviously, if you've looked on our website and you've seen on our drop-down menu, the two main ones that we offer are these Discreet Carry Concepts HLR Mod 4 clips. We also have Raven Concealments, the RCS tuckable clips. Both are great options. Not everybody's into the metal clips, so some people like to gravitate towards the plastic ones. If you're going to go with the plastic ones, I do think the Raven Concealment ones, the RCS ones, are the better ones out there on the market right now. They offer good adjustability, and they are still good enough retention grabbing onto your belt that if you were to crank this retention on the gun down real tight, you don't have to worry about when you go to draw that you're bringing your whole holster with you. That is a main reason why I really like these Discreet Carry Concepts clips. They have extra tabs that are bent backwards on the bottom here, and they literally snap around your belt, especially if you're carrying a good EDC style belt. It's got some rigidity to it. And these things, they actually are on the side of being a pain in the butt to take off, but I'd rather that and make sure that my holster stays in place when I draw than to have the whole entire holster come out with it. But in either case, whichever belt clip style that you decide to go with, the 3-hole pattern that is on the front of the holster here is the same pattern that you're going to find on the majority of tuckable belt clips that are on the market. So if it's something you decide to go a different route entirely, you shouldn't have any issue with any other belt clips and being able to get them to adapt to this holster. As well as the top 3 holes that you find on the holster as well for mounting the fold over style clips, or the foamy style clips as they're called. Again, we really recommend the monoblock. It has those same tabs that the HLR clips have, and they are amazing. They hold on really, really well. There's a lot of people I know that won't even bother wearing a belt. These grab onto jeans and other fabric, yoga pants. If you're a woman, they grab really, really well and don't even necessarily require a belt to be worn. But if it was something you should decide that you want to try something out different, the whole pattern for here is very, very similar to all of the other foamy style clips that are out there on the market. So you shouldn't have an issue with swapping those out either. One other cool thing to mention is one of the favorite ways that I like to run my Appendix IWB holsters is in conjunction with our Appendix mag carriers. So a lot of people have gravitated towards the sidecar style of holster, and then kind of from that they went from the fixed sidecars to the flexible sidecars, and then if you really want to go extra flexible, separate them completely. So I like to wear my holster up front, and then I'll wear my Appendix magazine carrier on the other side. This gives obviously complete flexibility in between the two, and allows you to also still carry that mag. I've even found that it helps a little bit with the concealability, because having the extra space on this side of your belt line pushes out enough that it helps to even fold your grip of your firearm even further in. So just something to think about if you are in the market for carrying an extra magazine with your holster as well. Definitely check these out. They're a great addition to go along with the Ninja Appendix IWB. Anyway, hope that's helpful for everybody. Hope that answers some questions. I'm sure there's still others, so if you have other questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can hit us up here in this YouTube video in the comment section below. You can also reach out under Risen Holster Co. on our Instagram page, or check us out on our website. We have our email is info@risenholsterco.com. You can email that directly, or you can just jump on our Contact Us page, and it sends it to the same email. Questions related to this, questions related to concealed carry, questions related to any of our holsters, definitely feel free to reach out. And as always, stay safe and God bless.